Welcome to lesson 55, where we're writing two-step expressions. So watch me as I'm doing these 4 steps and then practice them yourself to make sure that you can also be successful in your work. 1, can you find the variable in the problem, identify it, and assign it as you're writing your expression? 2, that you're doing your annotations and your systems to really model the scenario and slow down your thinking. 3, that you can translate the scenario into an accurate algebraic expression. And 4, just to be aware how you're using parentheses to make sure that you have a correct order of operations or to separate your coefficients from your variables. We're going to add our skills from the last 2 lessons, Math Marbles. We're going to do some substitution work and we're going to do some translation work. So let's look at this one. Bryson has V plus 5 marbles. Stephanie has 6 times as many marbles as Bryson has. So what do we already know? We know that Bryson has this. This is his exact number of marbles. We have no idea what V is, but we know it can be represented as V plus 5. And we know Stephanie has 6 times as many. So Steph has 6 times what Bryson has. So I could just represent this as 6 times whatever Bryson has here. But remember in our last lesson, we learned to substitute. We know how much Bryson has. We know what this is. It's right over here, the V plus 5. So we're going to swap this out and we're going to throw in V plus 5. We're going to do that little swap, that substitution. So let's make that happen. So he has 6 times what Bryson has. But here's the thing, we know that it's 6 times the entire part that Bryson has. So I'm going to put a parentheses around that and I'm going to explain my thinking why. If I did not have that parentheses, I'm going to put it here. Using our order of operations, what would you do? Well, we know we'd multiply 6 times this V, but what would happen with this 5? We would just add 5. So that is the challenge. We want 6 times the entire amount Bryson has. Without a parentheses, we would only have 6 times the value of V plus 5. Bryson has V plus 5 marbles. So we want 6 times the entire expression. And I try to just be very clear when I'm writing out my thinking and my thoughts here, because I want 6 times the entire expression V plus 5, not just the V. That's our goal, not just V. I'm going to even add that in. Not running out of space, just V. Okay? So that really matters, and I tried to make it really clear that if we only had, without a parentheses, we'd only multiply 6 times V instead of the entire V plus 5. So hit pause so you can jot this down. Okay, we're going to try something now. Now we're going to see like how much that parentheses really mattered by testing this out. We're going to pretend what if V was equal to 2. We're going to substitute and evaluate this expression. It means we're just going to put in a 2 every time we see a V and just simplify the problem. So let's actually try with the parentheses. So 6 times V plus 5. And I'm going to make that V into a 2. So 6 times 2 plus 5. And now we're going to use our order of operations. I'm going to write it here on the side just so we have it. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I have to do what's inside my parentheses first. We're going to simplify in here and we'd have 6 times 7, which is 42. If V is equal to 2, then Bryson would have 7 marbles, and Stephanie would have 42 marbles. So now let's pretend that our parentheses, we didn't have it. Would our solution change? So now we're going to do the same thing about it. So 6 times V plus 5, 6 times 2 plus 5. Now there's no parentheses, so my order of operations says I have to multiply first. 12 plus 5, which would mean 17. So without parentheses, has 7 marbles, but when we simplified the expression, Stephanie has 17 marbles. A very different answer. And there you have it, math marbles. Look at how much of a difference that parentheses made. It went from her having 42, which was what she really has, to only 17 just because we didn't have a parentheses in there. And that is a big difference because we were only doing 6 times 2 instead of 6 times 7. So let's hit pause and jot this down into our notes. And now you can see how when we're just having something as small as missing a parentheses or a symbol can really change our final answer. Look out for that as you're doing your practice work today. Let's look at one more problem where we have multiple expressions and we're going to translate and do some substitution. Heidi is T inches tall. Her brother Derek is 15 inches taller than Heidi. So that's going to be important. So that's 15 inches taller than this amount, so they're connected together. Heidi's sister Claudia is twice Derek's height. So again, we're going to make a connection. So let's write Heidi's age. That one's the easiest since we know Heidi is just T, just one term. Let's write Derek's age. So we know Derek. What do we know? Derek is 15 inches taller than Heidi. So we're going to do a substitution. We're going to, since we know that these two things are true, Heidi's age, we're going to take out the H for Heidi and we're just going to put a T. So Derek's is 15 plus T. One simple expression with two terms. Let's do Claudia's age. And what do we know about Claudia? Claudia is 2 times Derek's height. So we're going to take everything we know about Derek and we're going to substitute it here. So our new term is 2 times 15 plus T. So you see, that's all we did. And what I love about these problems is they always start with a key. Like, here's our starting point. We knew Heidi's height was T, so that was easy. And once we knew that, we were able to take that and do a substitution to find Derek's height, 15 plus T, since he was 15 inches taller. So it's an increase of 15 inches. And Claudia's was twice Derek's height, so it was 2 times whatever Derek's height was. And that's how we expressed it. 2 times 15 plus T. Or in parentheses, remember, just like the last time, times this entire part. Alright, so Mania is Claudia's best friend. And she is 6 inches shorter. So that's going to be important. So she is 6 inches shorter than Claudia. So we know that it's minus 6 than Claudia. So we're going to write an expression for her height. So whatever Claudia's is minus 6. So we're going to do that same thing. We're going to take the C for Claudia. We're going to take this entire term and substitute it in there. So 2 times 15 plus t minus 6. So, ooh, there we have it. We are done with this one. We've represented her entire height. There we have it, Math Marbles. You can see how we could sub in. We can take an entire expression and substitute it for what we know about another person. So hit pause so you can jot this one down into your notes. And imagine, once we know what t is, if they gave us a number, we can substitute that in and even simplify this further. That's it for today, Math Marbles. Let's get some practice in, and you know exactly what it is your teachers are looking for as you are practicing to show your mastery. If you're not sure how to do any of those look-fors, ask the question. They are here to help you. See you later, Math Marbles. Take care.